Hey there, Shauna Mahaney, Superstar Director for Group Scentful Bliss, and today I want to talk just about a couple of ways that you could possibly get some bookings. Kennedy is here with me, and we're going to talk about bookings. So bookings are the lifeline of your business. The truth of the matter is, this is a party plan business, and to do a party plan business, you have to have parties. And to get parties, you have to get bookings. So let's talk about some ways to get some bookings. First and foremost, remember that in all things, the phone is your friend. We get so caught up in being afraid that we're going to call somebody and they're going to tell us no. Well, they probably are going to tell you no, and that's okay. Because it's just like if you go to McDonald's and they ask you, do you want to supersize that? And you say no. They don't go running in the back and cry because you told them no, right? It's not a personal attack on you. They just said no. And no is very rarely is no and never. Lots of times no just means no for right now. So we've talked a lot about your list of 100, and we're going to continue to talk about that and the people you put on that list. But let's talk about some things about the phone. So the most important thing about getting a booking, and this seems so simple, is you have to ask. If you don't ask, then the answer is always no. So you have to ask people. And I have found sometimes the easiest way to do that is to call somebody up. Make conversations with them. Become in a relationship with them. This is a relationship business. So the more you talk and visit, the more you're going to get those bookings that you're looking for. It's important that when you're looking for a booking that you avoid a few certain words. Okay? So first word you want to avoid is party. And I know that's so hard because that's what we want people to do, is host a party. But here's the thing. When you ask somebody to host a party, a lot of times it goes and they think, in their mind, they think, well, then I'm going to have to host a old-fashioned Tupperware party, right? Like what your moms used to host. Not quite the same thing. So we're avoiding the word party. We're going to also avoid the word host. So host is another one of those words that just makes people cringe. So a couple of things you want to maybe go towards. Instead of saying host or party, let's say get together. Do you want to have a get together with your friends? You can say things like, do you like wine? Because everybody likes wine. Like, everybody likes wine. So if you say, do you like wine? Then most likely they're going to say yes. And when they say yes, they like wine, you say, well, would you like to get some friends together for some wine? And we can sniff some Scentsy. Going into those whole theme parties are a great, great way of getting some bookings. And so we have 3 different party styles. We have an on-location party, which is our home parties, but I call them on location instead of home party. We have a online, and we have an on-go. So it's all on location, online, and on the go. And that on the go, of course, is your basket parties. Now, the best place to get a booking is at a booking. So I find the easiest place for me to collect any other bookings is absolutely at a party, because everybody's there, right? So a couple of things I do when I'm at my party. I do a game called Hostess Stacking. And what I do with this is the only thing I take to a Scentsy party is what I can, number one, fit in one bag. And I try to take a good example of what a hostess would get with a $500 party. Okay, that they don't know that when I'm setting this up. But when it comes time to talking about hosting a party, I take the one person in the room that I feel like she is the least likely person in this place to book a party. It's not going to happen. And I always ask her, will you be my pretend hostess? And of course she's going to say yes, because now I've totally put her on the spot. And I always tell them that it's just for pretend. You don't have to, I'm not making you commit to it. It's just for pretend. And I said, okay, so let's play a game. I want us to see what an average hostess gets. And then I start taking the things off my table, okay? And I start placing them in her lap, okay? My average hostess gets, a diffuser for half price. So I put the diffuser in her lap. She gets this for half price. And I take those 3 half price things. I take all of that free stuff. And my table is just emptying out now. And it's all going in this lady's lap, okay? And then at the end, I always say, okay, so somebody guess how much you would pay for this if you paid for it outright. And I take some guesses. Whoever guesses the closest gets a prize. Usually it's a used tester. And then I say, okay, somebody guess what the hostess is going to pay for this amount. And they guess, and the person closest also gets a prize. Now they are blown away because now it's a visual. They've seen it in her lap. They know what the possibilities are. Another great game you could play at your parties, especially during Christmas, is this time I take and get things that I think people would use as a gift. So I take 10 Christmas bags, and I tell them, okay, this is what your hostess is going to get. Let's make some gifts. And I open up those 10 bags, and I'm like, okay, you need a teacher gift? How about a room spray because kids stink? You need a gift for your mother-in-law? How about this diffuser? And I just start pulling this stuff, and I'm like, okay, look, I've made 10 gifts from hosting one Scentsy party, and I cost me $70 or whatever your half price is going to run. So that's another great way of getting a booking at a party. I do party bags, and in my party bags I just get fancy cute little gift wrap bags, and I put on there booking 1, booking 2, booking 3, and I tell them that there's gifts inside, and there's always gifts inside. They're not expensive gifts, and they're not actual gifts. They're actually written on a piece of paper. I'll tell you why. So I tell them, if you book a party, you get to pick a bag, and when you pick a bag, inside your bag is going to be a prize. And when they open up the bag, of course, it's going to have their hostess packet is what's in there, basically, and a couple samples. And then on the tag, it's going to say, you win a free mini warmer. You win a free car bar. Whatever. You need to do it along the lines of what you can afford. But remember, it's all a write-off. I don't give them those items until they host their party, because I don't want to give them a free mini warmer and then them never host a party, right? So that's important that you keep that in mind. Let's talk about booking a party online. You know, one of the best things I've ever done is taken a picture of host rewards, and I posted it. Now, this is a personal special, so you have to be really careful on how you word it. So you take this picture of what the hostess could earn, and you post it on your Facebook wall. And you say, let's play a game. This is $458 worth of Scentsy. How much did the hostess pay? The closest will be oh so happy she guessed. No consultants place 1 guest per person. So now how am I getting away with this? I'm not saying I'm giving them anything, okay? The closest person is going to be oh so happy she guessed. It's implied that they're getting a prize, but I didn't say that. So I'm getting around compliance a little bit with that. Then I let the answers flow in, and I let them come in for about 6 or 7 hours, okay? Once I get all of those answers, and they've all started to die down, this is when you're ready to divulge your answer. Now, this is where you have to private message people, because this is out of compliance. So you're going to private message people, and you're going to say, here's an example of what I would say. I'd say, hi, Molly, how are you? I was pulling for you to win, but you weren't the closest on the hostess reward game. Darn, right? The answer was only $200. Pretty great. I was thinking it would be really fun to do a 1-hour Facebook party together and help you earn some free products like this. You invite your friends, I do the work, you get all the free and half price Scentsy. I have an extra set of 6 bars with your name on them. If you have an extra hour this month or next party in your PJs, would you be interested? Now, I'm using stock that I have on hand to give her for these warmers, or I'm using that perpetual half price reward to get her those extra warmers, and so I'm paying that $15. And so on and so forth. Now, whoever is your winner, you might give them a little something extra. You might throw in a warmer. They might want a warmer for guessing the closest. But it's just a way of getting some interaction on some of your games that you're playing online. Okay, so I think I gave you several ideas. If you have any other ideas, I'd love for you to share them with me as well. And I hope this helps, and I hope you have a great booking blitz, which is another great thing to do, is host a booking blitz. Get some friends together and say, hey, for the next 3 hours, we're going to book as many parties as we can, and encourage each other to get as many bookings as you can. All right, thanks. Bye.